Is Austin a good place to live? That's what we're going to answer today in this video. Jeremy at the Night Group, your favorite Austin realtor. Now, you don't want to hear from a realtor on is Austin a good place to live. You want to hear from the locals. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go through and interview the locals, and we're going to ask them the 5 most Googled questions, and we're going to see, is Austin a good place to live? Here we go. All right, here are the 5 most asked questions on Google about Austin. Number 1, is Austin a good place to live? Number 2 was, is Austin humid? Well, it's June, so that's gonna be a good question to ask some people. Number 3, is Austin safe? Now, this is one of those questions that's hard for a realtor to answer, right? Because we have rules we have to follow. So I went to neighborscout.com, and on Neighbor Scout, you can actually go through and look at different areas of Austin, Round Rock, Dripping Springs, and you can look at all these areas to see what the safety scores are. Now, Austin ranks fairly low on this website. So I also went through and looked at niche.com and other websites. Do your due diligence. I'm gonna ask this question to people, but do your due diligence when you're looking at the crime. Use Neighborhood Scout, look at niche.com and bestplaces.net, and it'll show you the overall things on there. The other question, which I'm not really gonna ask a lot of people, is Austin liberal? If you go to bestplaces.net, you can see that Travis County is pretty far to the left. So that is on that website. So that's a good place to look there as far as if you want to look at other areas, other neighborhoods and things like that, you should use that website, bestplaces.net. Another question that people ask all the time, is Austin expensive? When I looked at a lot of the websites, what I found is that Austin's most expensive thing is, guess what? Is housing. In fact, Austin's really only 1% higher than the national average. Partly for that is the fact that 16% higher than the national average in housing costs. But we're gonna ask the locals that question too. Now, we're gonna ask them all the good and bad things about Austin. So here we go, let's go. I'm here with
Joy,
Mathieu.
Alex.
Haley,
Daylin,
Chris.
Chris lives in Austin. I'm gonna be asking you the most Googled questions about Austin. The overall question, which we're gonna answer at the end, is Austin a good place to live? So the first question I have, is Austin expensive?
It can be.
I think it's outrageously expensive.
if we're talking housing market, it's I think it's outrageous. Personally, we've talked about it of how like trying to buy a home and eventually having a family, is this a place to do it, or should we go someplace that's more affordable? Because I just think the housing market doesn't make sense for what it's worth.
It depends on what you're comparing it to. Like compared to New York or LA, it's cheap.
Okay.
A lot of people in like the business world will say like, oh yeah, Austin's super affordable place to live.
That's one thing I love about Lubbock is the cost of living is very reasonable. I think the cost of living here, we lived in Pflugerville. The cost of our house when we bought it as to when we sold it was exponentially a lot more. I don't know that I could afford to move back to Austin, honestly.
Yes.
It is. What makes it expensive?
I think a lot of it's macroeconomics, I mean,
Okay.
the inflation and everything, the effect that people from other states moving in have on the economy here, the amount of money they're bringing, the pay that they're making, COVID with remote work and everything. I think it's hard for people that are native Texans and have lived here to keep up with that aspect of it.
Yeah, the rental rates have come down slightly over the last year, but we're talking like maybe 8%. If you're renting a 1-bedroom, it's gone up 5%.
Wow.
What do you think the most expensive thing about Austin is then?
I think property taxes are pretty high.
Yes.
I would say
Property
that.
taxes.
Do you own in Austin?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you, just a quick sidebar question, how do you feel about the property taxes?
Awful.
Awful.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They're awful.
Then he's probably seen my YouTube channel. All right. I'm here with
Christopher Lisk.
Christopher is visiting Austin right now. We're not going to say where, from an undisclosed city. So I want to ask Christopher, who's been here how many days?
A solid full day. Yeah.
Solid full day. So from a safety standpoint, you've been here a day. Do you feel Austin's safe?
Yeah, I feel. I was telling my girlfriend that we were walking down here and stuff. Yeah, Austin's big, but looks pretty dang safe. Looks pretty nice.
Okay.
I think after like, and there was a lot of controversy with like the homeless encampment ban. But I do think that did clean things up a ton downtown, just walking around from when I was a freshman and sophomore in college to like the past 2 years as a junior and senior. I think campus is decently safe.
I feel like it's safe.
Okay. And so how long have you been visiting in the last few days? Or how?
We just drove in yesterday.
Okay. So your experience overall, is Austin still pretty safe?
I think it's pretty safe, yes.
Pretty safe. There you go.
When we moved here, it was great.
Okay.
It was awesome. We're from a small town, northeast Texas, and so this is our big city, and so, but it's definitely gotten much worse.
Much worse.
Over the 13 years.
Yeah.
I'd even say over the past 5 years.
What do you think some of the causes are that's getting worse?
I think a lot of it is affordability.
Yeah.
It gets back to people not being able to, people moving here expecting it to be like this opportunity for them, and then realizing they can't afford it.
I would say like dirty is not.
Yeah, like
Dirty six.
Dirty
36,
six is
like,
not.
we actually
at
just had
all.
this conversation.
Yeah, it's not pleasant to be there or walk
no.
around or even go out there,
Yeah.
but everything
Yeah.
else is not
So,
bad.
yeah.
It's really
Okay.
not.
I think where we live is safe. My parents always call me and like, "Are you okay? I heard something happened in Austin." I'm like, I had no idea. Like, I feel really far from it. So there's safe areas, and you can definitely be isolated in like the safety of it. But I guess it's definitely gotten worse. But I don't know. I don't watch really the news. I don't really go to dangerous places at night.
We used to have like Amazon lockers, and then at some point people just kept coming and trying to break into lockers, so they removed the lockers. And then last weekend, TV in the clubhouse just got stolen.
Well, when you say it like that, but it sounds like we live in a ghetto area. We don't. Like,
What area do y'all live in Austin?
Oak Hill.
Okay, oh, it's a great
Yeah.
area. Yeah. Where is the best place to live? If you were somebody that was going to move to Austin, where would you move to?
For me, downtown.
Okay.
Just like you're close to everything, like 6th Street. You're close. Just all the restaurants I want to go to are downtown. So.
We both live in West Campus right now. Like our leases are continuing before we graduated, so I think that's like great for being in college.
Okay.
I think if you're a young adult, downtown or the Domain, but then I think if you have a family, I'm from Austin originally.
Okay.
I'm a native.
Oh, wait.
And
The unicorn
I
right
know
here.
I'm a really born and raised, never lived anywhere else,
Nice.
and I'll be here after I graduate too.
Nice.
I love the city, and my family lives in like 360 Overlook area,
Okay,
North Austin.
great spot.
Love it. And
Yeah.
so I think if you have like a family or not like super young, single, I think that's a great place to
Okay.
If you can afford Bee Cave.
I want to say South. I want to say South.
I love
Austin.
South Austin, yeah.
South Austin is cool. That's where we live, and we like it. Yeah, it's a good area.
So if I were to say north versus south, you're definitely saying south.
South.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
100%
That's what I said the whole
south.
time. And you're facing into Boston. Just so you're aware, that's like 5 counts South Austin, 0 counts north, by the way.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure if we were at the Domain, it'd be a different story. One of the most asked questions is, how's the weather? Is Austin humid? What do you think?
Very humid.
Very humid. Compared to Lubbock, how is it?
Very humid. Lubbock is very dry, so we were talking today how hot it is here today, and it's not even that hot. So,
Right. Again, I've said it several times. It's June. It's at noon, and it's probably 90 degrees.
correct.
Correct. It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. That's why we're on this side in the shade.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't walk on the sunset.
Yeah, we tried to shoot on that side. It was way
Yeah,
too hot.
No.
It is humid. I will say that this year has rarely, of the rare occurrence of it being good weather, but right now it's super hot and it's getting hotter for sure.
Getting hotter for sure.
I'd say it's up and down. I think that sometimes it can be really humid, and sometimes, like today, it's not really humid. It feels good, but yeah, it gets hot in the summer. Except this spring has been beautiful.
Yeah.
The spring has been good so far. A good thing it rained yesterday, so it's not super hot.
I'm from Houston, so this is not really that humid to me. Most of the time it's just hot, not really that humid.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
It could be worse. It
Yeah.
could be Florida or Houston. Yeah.
Okay, so not as humid as people think, but still humid. Okay. All right, what's the worst thing about Austin?
Honestly, I think it's the lack of, not oversight, but the ability of the city to grow with the population.
Yeah.
So like living here for 13 years, we've obviously seen like the exponential growth and the city's inability to keep up with it.
The traffic, aggressive drivers, like we had to be on our big defense when we were like, we're in the big city now, we're gonna have to really, she's like, no, they're not letting me in. I was like, they're not gonna let you in, you just gotta go.
I don't think driving is the best here. Like downtown campus area, there's like awful bike lanes. Sometimes the streets are really crowded. I was just complaining about that. But like you get out into like Westlake area, we were driving around earlier. Like the lanes get bigger and it's like a lot more pleasant to drive.
Right.
So traffic is horrible and aggressive drivers, that's what I'm
Hashtag fact check true.
The housing market, how overpriced it is. But I heard it's going down. I heard that the housing market is going down, and then the temperature sometimes is a little too hot.
In the shade's good right now, though.
Yeah, right now it feels great.
We live southwest, the Y is a disaster.
Oh,
You don't go
trust
through
me.
the Y.
Trust me, I know.
Oh,
I drive
yeah,
through
you
it every
do.
day.
Yeah, you live
Yeah.
in Irving. So yeah, I mean, just things like that, the infrastructure, the inability of, like, we've lived south the entire time, so I know point of contention is like public transit and things like that. People that live south have been historically voted against it.
Yeah.
People that live north have been more progressive when it comes to things like that. So I work downtown, and just the inability of the infrastructure in the city to keep up with the growth.
So being here right now, one of the biggest critiques is the traffic. Have you had to deal with the traffic yet?
Yeah, deal with the traffic a little bit.
Okay.
The streets are a little narrow, but other than that, you still get around.
It's overcrowded. I feel like it's just, to be honest, like Austin's cool, but I think it's a little overhyped. It's awesome, but don't come here. Like, I'm sorry, you guys are just like, you guys are coming here too much. There's other places to go. It's not that cool, and it's congesting everything, and it's making it crowded. I think it's probably not as like charming as it was because everyone from everywhere is coming here, which is a good thing and not a great thing.
What's your favorite thing about Austin?
Ooh. Probably the people. Good people are in Texas.
Best thing about Austin, there's a ton of stuff to do.
Okay.
I mean, family, single, married, not whatever it is. There's tons of stuff to do. So I would say just the ability to kind of get out and do something.
Nice.
I think that you get such a good blend of like, there's great places to go out, food scene, concerts, all of that, but then you can get away and go into nature.
Yeah.
Food. Not even a question. Yeah, food.
Food. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place to eat then?
Right now, Conjay. If you've been to Conjay, best place in my opinion.
Chef's
So good.
kiss.
Yes.
Chef's kiss.
I think that everyone's pretty friendly for the most part until you get on the roads.
Yeah, like those people right there, they're super friendly. Look, Jaden, get them. There you go.
Yeah, I think I really like the food, and I like that we can walk around and there's like really cool businesses around, like that are very unique. We were just at Neighborhood Goods, and I really like that atmosphere that they have over there. No, it's a lot of unique businesses here.
You've been here a day. What's your overall thoughts of Austin? How would you rate it day one?
Well, we're staying in an Airbnb down Woodview
Okay.
Run, and we can walk down the streets like that, take a walk around the block. There's no issues. I think stuff done the area there. I have a carry conceal, but I don't feel like I need to wear it.
You have like the
Barton
neighborhood
Springs.
feel too.
Yeah, Lady Burger Lake. Like you have a lot of options
Yes.
to do outdoorsy stuff.
And it
Nice,
still feels
nice.
like Texas. Like it's like a little bit LA, and like, you know,
Yeah,
all
but-
like
yeah, it's
all
Texas.
that, but
A lot of
still
tacos.
it's very Texas still too. Like you'll see people in their cowboy boots and the cowboy hat, and
Yeah.
it's got culture.
One of the questions that's on here that I'm not asking people is Austin liberal? And you said it's kind of like LA.
Yeah, it's
Similar?
definitely.
Like
yeah.
city council totally is.
Anyway,
Austin's
that-
pretty liberal, yeah, it is.
From the outside
I can tell by
perspective-
walking around. Yeah, I mean, I live by Madison, Wisconsin, super liberal. Milwaukee there. I mean, but no one really bothers anybody.
I think that it's kind of evened out a little bit by
Okay.
the state. It's like a good, I
Yeah.
think a good blend.
It's
Yeah.
definitely like a blue bubble in Texas.
You've been here a day. Do you think that people, typically what I tell people is that Austin's a pretty friendly place. How friendly has it been?
Absolutely, I think it is. Yeah, no one's giving us any dirty looks or anything like that. And they can tell we're probably tourists and stuff, but yeah, it's really friendly.
As long as you don't tell them you're from California, you should be fine.
Everyone's from California and Austin now, aren't they?
Me too. All right, so then let's answer the overall biggest question. Is Austin a good place to live?
I think it depends on where you live.
Okay.
You are single and you want to do the downtown thing and everything, then more power to you. But overall, I mean, I think it's a good place to live. Yeah,
Okay.
I think overall it's pretty good. There are things that obviously have changed a lot that we talk about on a regular basis,
Yeah.
but overall, yeah.
I left. So, I mean, I was born here. I lived here till I went to college. I went to college at Tech.
Okay.
Came back for 20 years to Austin, and then went back to Lubbock. So, I mean, that speaks for itself, I guess.
Okay.
It was my choice. So,
No, it is. It is a good place to live. It has all the things that you like if you like kind of this, like a really cool city and a lot of things to do. I think if you're thinking maybe long term, I think you're asking us at a place where we're rethinking a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a great place to live. I don't know if it's the best place for us.
I think if you can afford it, it's a great place to live. But if you're just like starting out, maybe if you work in tech, it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Besides that, if you're young and like you're starting a career or something, it really depends on what your field is.
And if you want way more like diversity, I don't know if Austin's very diverse, and that bothers me a lot.
Bestplaces.net. If you want to look up diversity, politics, all that good stuff, a good spot for that. So thank you for saying that. Where would you rank it as far as best places to live?
Number one, it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
No question.
Great city to live in.
10 out of 10. All right. Any last words before we cut you off?
I mean, Austin is a fun place. There's a lot of things to do around Austin. I think in terms of like where to live in Texas, Austin is probably like the best places
Yeah.
because there's just so much to do and so much to see. San Antonio is not far, and then the hill country and everything. It's a little overpriced right now.
The whole point, move to Houston. Yeah. Less humid, is more beautiful Houston.
People are kind.
Yeah, people are kind.
understanding.
Yeah, that's the Texas way.
Don't move here though. Don't move. We want it for us.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so did we answer the question, is Austin a good place to live? I've been here over 11 years. I still love Austin, but I actually moved out of Austin. So the question is to you, is Austin a good place to live? Drop a comment below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We spend a lot of time making these videos and doing these videos. The guy behind the camera spends so much time editing these videos. Give us a love, all right? See you in the next video.